Now, this we want to briefly kind of get into Robert Saleh. So this actually happened around, I guess, maybe it was around lunchtime today, midday, earlier this morning a little bit. Jets well, they didn't let him go. They fired him. They got him up out the building. A lot of stories coming out about him being escorted out. Like maybe that's just kind of protocol or something, for security purposes. I'm not gonna act like you know, they brought in the SWAT team for Robert or anything like that. But I want to get your thoughts on this. Explain to me, what do you think firing Robert Saleh is going to do right now? Like I don't understand it. If anybody need to be fired, it's Nathaniel Hackett. All right, and look, Robert Saleh. If you want to talk about the team like not coming out prepared overall, that Vikings game in London, that defense for the Vikings was nasty. All right, they were all over them.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about them not being prepared, talk about that. But like the offense is obviously the issue with this team, and I get he's the head coach, but the offense is not his specialty. The offense is a specialty of the four-time MVP, future Hall of Famer, one of the best throwers of the football ever to live and breathe on this planet, Aaron Rodgers, and his homeboy Nathaniel Hackett. Explain to me how Nathaniel Hackett still has a job today. I don't understand it. And there are reports coming out that Robert was thinking about possibly firing Hackett before he gets let go. So I don't really like it. I understand that Robert overall, I mean, he's like 26-38 or something, through his first 3 and some change seasons now. Obviously not a good record. To be fair, he didn't have a quarterback for like most of that time. I mean, he had Zach Wilson, he had Aaron for a second last year, then Zach Wilson again. I don't really know what you want too many guys to really do with that. So I just don't like the move. I mean, it's not. He didn't go out there and throw 3 interceptions against the Vikings last week. That wasn't him. You can criticize him for many things, but the offense is the problem right now. And I maybe they turn things around. Maybe we see teams fire their coach and they get galvanized. They go on a run. You can even look back at like the Panthers when they fired Matt Rule and Steve Wilks came in and kept them from being the worst team in the league that year. Maybe something like that happens, but the Jets have higher aspirations than just not being the worst team. The Jets have playoff aspirations, and with the DC coming in, and being the interim, it's like what exactly is your objective here? So I don't like the move at all. I'm not acting like Robert Saleh is a great coach or anything like that. He hasn't shown to be a great head coach. I just do not like the move. If you're going to fire anybody, it should have been Nathaniel Hackett. Simple as that.
Yeah, I don't like this move. I don't find it to be an understandable move. I think this looks really weird. Fired him so quick into the season. You didn't tell him. He got escorted out by security today, per reports. This has been a firing surrounded and controversy and mystery. But yeah, I think you have to fire Nathaniel Hackett here. And I think really the proof of what is the point of this is that you fire Robert Saleh, whose whole thing, really, truthfully, is defense. That has been the shining point of that team his whole tenure. Their defense has been fine since he's been there. No question about that at all. All right, you fire him because your offense is not performing well. And who do you make the head coach? The defensive coordinator, who has been keeping the defense together, which is already good. And what you're admitting right now is we can't make Nathaniel Hackett the head coach. We can't do that. But also, he doesn't need to be the offensive coordinator. And so I don't want to get too conspiracy filled, but if him and Aaron Rodgers have this connection, and that's why Robert Saleh ends up going right. We saw the shove with Aaron and Robert. I think Saleh has been in an unfortunate situation the whole time. I would hesitate to call him a great coach. I think he's a good coach, maybe.
In areas.
Yeah. He's kept the defense alive. He's not been able to pick a good offensive coordinator. I'll put that one up there. And he clearly can't run the offense. That's not working. So maybe you do need some sort of change. But I'm not really sure what making the change at this moment of the season accomplishes. I think that it's just going to mess things up. Maybe you get a Steve Wilks scenario where the Jets go on and finish well, but I don't know. To me, this feels like you're going to go from 2-3 to 2-15. It doesn't feel like this is going to work well. It feels like you might mess up some chemistry there. Your defense should hopefully stay solid, but you could likely lose some other points. Your offense is probably not going to go into to flourish here. So, yeah, I think this is a weird move. I don't really like it. I don't think it benefits anybody here. Certainly not Robert Saleh, but yeah, this is odd. I don't expect a lot of the Jets out of this. I didn't expect too much after the way they started the season, but I thought there was a path for recovery. Now it kind of seems like they just shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, and one thing I also thought about too, like you get Hassan Reddick, you trade for him knowing he wants a contract from the Eagles. He doesn't get that, so you trade for him and you don't give him a contract. The man still hasn't been there, so he's just there. Like he's literally just there, not playing. Like you expect to have that guy out there if you're Robert Saleh. Like he's going to be one of your anchors of your defense. He's not out there. Like that's a waste of time. So I mean, it's just weird, and maybe for the offensive players, like maybe like we don't really like Robert. He's a defensive head coach. He doesn't really understand the offense. Well, it's like, all right, cool. That's why you get an offensive coordinator that knows what they're doing, and clearly Hackett doesn't know what he's doing. So if Hackett gets Robert Saleh fired, then that's on him for making that decision to bring in Hackett. And hey, that's fine. But I just don't think it's a good move. Um, the, if the offense is a problem, like you said, you put the DC to be the head coach in there again. You're not changing the actual issue of the offense. You're just, in all essence, really here making someone the fall guy.